Guten Tag, meine Kollegen. My name is Ted Ross, and I'm Chief Information Officer at the City of Los Angeles. I bring greetings from Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, from the Los Angeles City Council, and the people of Los Angeles. In fact, Los Angeles and Berlin have a very close relationship. We have been sister cities since 1967, so it is an honor to be around like-minded people here at SCCON. When we think about Los Angeles, quite often we think about great weather, we think about maybe Hollywood celebrities or beaches, but Los Angeles is a global city. We've got over 4 million residents, we have over 500,000 businesses, and we have 46 million visitors every single year. In addition to that, we have to manage a lot of infrastructure. So we've got about 35,000 kilometers of roads we have to maintain. We have about 9,500 kilometers of sewers we have to maintain. And 37% of all United States imports comes through the port of Los Angeles, which is just one of 45 different city departments at the city of Los Angeles. And of course, great cities, big global cities, they have great challenges. So it's no surprise we had terrible fires just earlier this year, which was heard around the world. We have homelessness, we have traffic. While we often think about celebrities in Hollywood and weather, we also think about traffic, right? And so with great cities come great urban challenges. And so we seek after various solutions. That's why I love SCCON. I loved all the displays and the conversations that I've had because I'm around people who understand the importance of digital technology and what technology can mean to dramatically change how we live in our cities, how we work in our cities, even recreation in our cities. And why is technology so important? Well, what we've seen in Los Angeles is that technology, it gives us awareness. Right? We're 469 square miles. It's about 1,200 square kilometers. I can't know what's happening in Los Angeles without sensors, without technology, without information, just to let us know what's even happening on any given day. Technology delivers insight. We absorb so much data on the financial side, on transportation, on safety, and we need technology to give us insight into that information. We empower influence. You know, what you often don't hear when we have a natural disaster or an earthquake or whatever it may be, is that through technology, we don't just know what's happening, we can influence what's happening. So for example, when we have fires, for example, we can actually work with Google Waze and with Google Maps and with Apple Maps and others to redirect traffic so they're not going to the site of a fire. We have hundreds of thousands of residents who get rerouted away from a disaster as opposed to sending them to a disaster. That's just one of many different ways that with technology you can literally change what happens in your city. We have found technology to be cost effective. You can duplicate technology. You can create digital technologies, and they're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for people to consume and to access. That's been very powerful for us. And technology is the one solution that every year gets better. That's an important fact. Every year, I have a new tool in the toolbox, or many tools in the toolbox, that I learn, develop, and can apply to change how we're delivering cities. There's nothing else like that every year gets better. Quite often, every year, it gets more problematic. Technology, in other words, makes us smarter. So what does that mean in Los Angeles for technology to make us smarter, right? No one wants to be a dumb city, right? Well, for us, this is how we define a smart city. And this is a big definition, I know. But we see a smart city as one that's efficient because we're using taxpayer money. It needs to be ethical because the work we do can't have unethical consequences. We use technology, data, and resources. Those three are how we define it. Yes, technology is it, but the use of data and even human resources is what makes a city smart. It's not just the technology. And we do it to improve the quality of life for the people who live in Los Angeles, the businesses that operate in Los Angeles, and the people who visit Los Angeles. So when we use technology, we're thinking about those three. How does this benefit the people who live here, the businesses that operate here, and even those, maybe like some of you who visit Los Angeles? We want to build digital and connected journeys. Yes, we want to move from any paper-based process to a digital process, but we also need to connect digital processes. to create customer journeys. A lot of what I'm describing is very popular in the United States in the private sector. And in many ways, governments could use to learn from the private sector in many key ways. We use cybersecurity, of course, too, because the more you digitize, the more you're creating an opportunity for cyber criminals. We need to ensure that digital experiences are good experiences so that they're cyber secure from start to finish. And all of this is even more important when we talk about hosting the world. Los Angeles will have 2026 FIFA World Cup. We'll have the 2027 Super Bowl, which, for any of you who know American football, that is huge. Over 200 million people watch that one football game. And of course, we'll have the 2028 Olympics. When you ask yourself the question, what does it mean to prepare for global events? Let's talk briefly about what that means. First and foremost is mobility. Mobility is the #1 priority when it comes to large numbers of people coming to your city, moving around your city to attend events, and then be able to safely leave. For us, mobility covers a lot of categories, but first and foremost, a lot of people are arriving by airport, and they're arriving at LAX. We have been spending billions of US dollars on improvements. One of them is just shown here that's about to open, and that's the People Mover. This automated People Mover can handle 85 million passengers a year. It is going to stop every 2 minutes during peak hours. It is filled with technology. It's fully automated. It's fully electric. It's made of 98% recyclable materials. And that takes you to facilities if you choose to rent a car that'll handle 18,000 different rental cars. Our entire airport was modernized for the 1984 Olympics, and we are now modernizing it for the 2028 Olympics. It'll be a very different experience and a very digital experience for everyone who travels through Los Angeles World Airport. But we also need to get vehicles around. We need buses, we need cars, right? We need all sorts of other modes of transportation and rail for us to be able to move people around, so we use our automated traffic and surveillance control system called ATSAC. At ATSAC, we have 45,000 different loop detectors. Those are these electric detectors that go under your street so that it'll know when a car pulled up whether it can change light or not. It's a lot like what we have here for pedestrians. We do not want to have to turn on a green light if there's no cars there for it. So we need to know where the cars are. We have over 4,850 intersections fully connected. So at any point in time, we can optimize one intersection over another to improve traffic flow. We also will be the first Olympics with Airbuses. Yes, air taxis, folks. And I know this seems like something from the Jetsons or from science fiction, but we have electric virtual takeoff or landing that will be prominent at the Los Angeles Olympics, right? Fully electrified, 4-passenger, very quiet, 20-minute tested range, and we will be the first Olympics with that. And a lot of it's more than just about being the first. I always get tired when someone goes, we're the first to do this or we're the first to do that. And it's not about being the first, but it's about becoming a laboratory to test out technologies and experiences so other cities can learn from our successes or even learn from our failures. Because globally as cities, all of our residents and all of our citizens, they rely on us. And so by testing out technologies and showing and proving where the good or where the bad is, it allows others to learn. And so we're always more than happy to share our experiences. In addition to that, public safety is key. And for us, public safety means so many different things. But in the year 2025, safety includes how police officers interact with others. What you see here is an image of virtual reality where you have 2 officers on the left who are training, and then a training officer, as you can see, part him and part what they see through their virtual reality goggles. And they use virtual reality to give experience to people on how to de-escalate a situation, how to talk someone down from using violence to prevent violence, or to even sample or provide an opportunity to use force. And the whole idea is that in a virtual world, you can test and try this out and build experience in police officers without waiting for them to have to experience it in real life. And again, prevention is what becomes key. This is one of many efforts in where technology is improving us. Or just the simple idea of cleaning streets. right? In Los Angeles, we have graffiti. In Los Angeles, someone may move out and just leave a mattress there on the curb. And so we have methods and tools and mechanisms to, at no cost, resolve these. So we have something called My LA 311. And through that, we have a mobile app that just went live on Salesforce. It's a modernized version of the app. We are handling over 3 million requests a year through the palm of your hand. All you have to do is say, I see graffiti, lets us know. Within about 48 hours, we'll usually have it painted over and removed, right? There's so many other aspects, and really what it is about giving our residents power to get graffiti removed, to remove that mattress or whatever that may be. And so we have 96 different services all through this mobile app. In addition to that, infrastructure for global events is also key. We were the first 5G city, the first big city with 5G connectivity in the United States. We will have about 12,000 access points by the 2028 Olympics. I happen to live in a neighborhood called Koreatown. It's just west of downtown. About a year ago, I could pull out a simple Samsung Android phone, and I was getting over a gigabit of speed. And that's a $13 a month, US dollar a month plan through T-Mobile, which happens to be right over there with Deutsche Telekom, right? And so this is just a simple service, but because we're deploying 5G, almost invisibly, we're seeing massive speeds through cellular networks. Infrastructure also matters for sustainability. Los Angeles is the #1 solar city in the United States, and we continue to be year in and year out. And so while we may be award-winning, it really doesn't matter, because being a smart city is a journey. You start off somewhere and you just keep going and improving. Our residents always deserve more. Our residents always deserve better. And technology is enabling us and empowering us to be able to do it. And every journey, of course, requires some form of roadmap. So if this is something you were curious about, we created our Smart LA 2028 plan, in which we had 78 different experts from in the city, from outside of the city. We had nonprofits, right? We had private sector. We used Google and Microsoft and many others, and Esri, all these different technology vendors to help also weigh in on it. And we had subject matter experts who worked in our departments, in transportation, in police, in recreation, wherever that may be. And we put together a group plan in which we had 24 different departments identify 53 smart city projects. Within the next year, we'll be updating that plan, because any good plan needs to be revised and updated and modernized as things change. To learn more, you could, of course, check it out. So we have the website here at ita.lacity.gov/SmartLA2028, or feel free to take a photo. If you were to search Smart LA 2028 on Google, you'll also find it. And this is just our thoughts on what it means to be a smart city and our approach on preparing ourselves for 2028 and beyond. One thing I think that's also worth noting, while being the first is not to me, it's not super important. While to me also that just because you win an award doesn't mean anything, because it's a journey. It never ends. You're always modernizing. You're always improving. You're always trying to deliver better services. I think the same comes to the 2028 Olympics. While we're focused on providing an excellent Olympics experience, really what matters is not just the Olympics, but beyond the Olympics. It's establishing a legacy of better services, right? A legacy of better transportation and better safety.